We want to talk about Rob Holding today because I know we feel a little bit differently about this, Robbie, but a lot of talk online and people saying, look, Rob Holding, he's not at fault. I called it on Tactical Insight clippable moments. He has like clippable moments where you can see that he's been a problem in the 4 Premier League games that he's played in. But I definitely think that there is a shift away from the way Arsenal play slightly because they're adapting to what Rob Holding doesn't do as well as Saliba. There's other things that Rob Holding does brilliantly. But would you be tempted to change things around for Southampton and try a different combination, knowing that when it comes to playing Haaland and Man City, we might need different attributes for that game?
Well, first of all, can we have him? We bring Tony Adams back. That would solve all of our problems. But no, listen, I've seen a lot of this talk, you know, and our guy Jack was just saying to us, you know, well, maybe we should play Kivior and stuff like that. Listen, Rob Holding is a different type of player than William Saliba. William Saliba and Gabriel throughout this season have formed an unbelievable partnership. Up until their injury, they had played every single Premier League game. That partnership was unbreakable, right? So it's quite obvious that if somebody else comes in, things ain't going to quite click the same, you know? And as I said, Rob Holding is a different type of defender. It's what I'd sort of class as more of an old school defender. You know, I mean, he's very good aerially. You know, I mean, he's decent on the ball, but he's not William
Defends
Saliba.
his box well,
Defends his box well, but he's not William Saliba, where William Saliba will trust himself on the ball a lot. You know what I mean?
High press, high line.
Yeah, exactly. Very quick as well. You know, so we have lost something with Saliba being out, but I think it's panic stations, in my opinion, when everybody keeps saying, oh, well, change this and move this person here and bring this person in there, you know. I don't think he's, you know, if you sort of trace back since he's come in, he came in the Sporting Lisbon game when we played here. I thought he played really well that night, even though we lost the game.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent.
Nothing was really down to him. I guess, you know, at Anfield, he did give away that penalty. It's a bit of a harsh decision, but he did give away that penalty. And, you know, was he at fault for any of the goals at West Ham? Was he? You know
no,
what I mean?
But don't you think that, like, sorry to cut you, but don't you think that there is a clear drop-off in the way we needed a goal from the 55th minute onwards against West Ham? I didn't see Ben White overlap Saka at all. And if he did, it was quite sparingly. You know, normally we used to him bombing up and down. If he doesn't get the ball, it's to take players away from Saka. It almost felt like they didn't quite want to leave Rob Holding on his own in that situation. The high line, the press, you know, Antonio, I thought, fancied himself to run at Holding. The thing is, Holding actually stood up to those tasks well. But
I think there was one time when Bowen kind of got slightly on the wrong side of him as well. And they did give him a hard time, but they gave Gabriel a hard time in the game as well. And I just feel, as I said, right, partnerships, centre-back partnerships are important. And I get you, you're right. You're right when you say you can trust Saliba more. They've been playing with him all season. So Ben White knows when I go, if I lose the ball, this guy, his pace, his ability, interceptions, tackling and that, he's like one of the best in the Premier League right now. Rob Holding isn't that. And Rob Holding also has only recently come in, you know? But I don't know, what are the alternatives? You know what I mean? So
I've got 4 for you I can throw you. All right, so the first, and Jack did mention it, is Kivior coming in at centre-back. Now, the thing is, he's a left-footed defender, so you kind of have that, you know, imbalance a little bit. But
so why imbalance it?
Well, because, okay, look, I don't love the idea, but I think to argue that case, because they sit in a back three anyway. Often White, you know, comes inside and Zinchenko goes into midfield. So really could have a left footer or a right footer. I'd also add to that he is faster. He is more of an athlete than Rob Holding. And so probably at least allows you to high press. And really, when you're talking about defending, winning your headers, intercepting, does it matter if you're right or left footed?
But then Kivior, when he came in, he wasn't that impressive in his, you know, in his debut game.
I'll give you that.
And listen, and again, in no way am I having a go at Kivior because, you know, to come right into the cauldron of defending when you're a young player, you know what I mean, you've not really played in the Premier League yet, you know, it's really, really hard. And we'll see the best of him next season. I don't think this would be the right time to be chucking Jakub Kivior into these super duper important games. I think it's the wrong time.
Okay, so that's solution number 1. Solution number 2, move Ben White to centre back and Raul Walters comes in. right
again,
back.
no, but we're
It's been
doing it again.
mentioned a lot.
We're doing it again. Real Waters apparently
Does look very good.
Yeah, it's very good. I was really impressed. But again, do you want to, first of all, disturb a brilliant partnership that we've had all season between Ben White and Saka?
But isn't that disturbed anyway with that withholding in there?
Not as much as it would be disturbed if you move him into a centre-back position, because then, for sure, he's not going to be doing any overlapping or any running.
Yeah, I hear that.
Or any, and we don't know. You're talking about bringing in an unproven player at this level. And as I said, he's not even had a chance, Real Waters, to, like, say, play in a League Cup game or a Europa League game for us to, to throw him right now would be a huge risk, which I don't think at the moment we should be taking.
Fair enough. I mean, some argue Rico Lewis with Pep, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, Rico Lewis with Pep, but is Rico Lewis, how many of the recent games has Rico Lewis played? Notice he's sort of Pep now, when he's starting to get to the real business end of things. You haven't really seen those guys, have you?
No,
those Rico Lewises and that. Now he's back to the tried and tested. He's got Diaz back in there. He's got Ake. He's got he's bringing Walker,
and,
Stones. Those solid. It's not a time for experimenting with kids in those positions right now, unless you really, really have to.
Okay, here's another one: White to centre back, Partey to right back, and Jorginho in midfield.
Oh, come on!
Oh, he got 10 minutes against Palace at right back. Partey.
At right back, no chance. I mean,
you're not pulling apart the midfield to help our right.
Are you saying that Rob Holding has been that bad that we're going to go with these wild experiments at this time of the season?
I think the question is more: is White a centre back with Gabriel and Partey a right back? Is that a better back four to deal with what Man City throw at us, and Jorginho in midfield? Because
I feel that. Listen, when we went to the Etihad. When we played them in the FA Cup, Rob Holding played as a centre-back, and he did all right for the first half. The only thing is he got a card against Haaland, which I thought was a very harsh card as well, but he kind of coped with the physicality well in that game. So he's already been there, done it. Even though he came off at half-time, he's had a little taste of it, yeah? All these experiments and stuff like that, I don't think is the right time to do it. In football, sometimes you have to trust your players. He's not William Saliba. William Saliba is out of the picture. The backup to William Saliba is Rob Holding. Play him, trust him. That's what I think. We have to trust him, you know what I mean? Since he's come in, he is not, if somebody can say to me that, Rob Holding has been the result of a couple of goals that we've conceded, I don't think no one can say that.
No.
Yes, you're right. We're not as dynamic with him in there.
We're not controlling games as much.
Yeah,
but is he? I hear what you're saying.
Think of the games as well. Think of a couple of. It's Anfield. Saliba would have had a hard time at Anfield as well.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And Gabriel, who most people say, has been probably our best centre back this season, has had a hard time in those last two games as well.
So you're not.
It's not just been Rob Holding.
You're not recalling Cedric or Maitland-Niles to play right back there.
100% no. Listen, we've got what we've got.
Yeah.
We've got to trust. Rob Holding. That's my thing, right? I don't think he's let us down since he's come in. It's not the same, right? I would love to see Saliba back in, but this is the whole point of a squad sometimes. You've got to trust the player that comes in. And if that player comes in and if he's been horrendous, I'd be with you. But he hasn't been.
Fair enough. Right.
So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what other people out there think.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what you think. Here's where I stand very quickly. I think ultimately we went 2-0 up at Anfield. We went 2-0 up at West Ham. It's not that I'm looking at Arsenal Sunday. They can't attack. They can't press. They can't control. We were controlling 30 minutes at Anfield. We were controlling 20 minutes at West Ham. So when things go wrong, am I then pointing at Rob Holding? I think there's elements of the game where I think you can see where Rob Holding's passing nowhere near as Saliba. He's not as confident, or he'll head it away rather than chest down and play. There are moments where I think, you can see that clearly our level drops. But I think for Southampton at home, I wouldn't be changing too much, especially when the solutions are to move other players, Partey and White, who've arguably been the best players in their positions in the league, to start moving them around. I don't like it, but I understand that there are certain things you might have to adjust to. So we'll see what happens against Southampton.
I think you only make those sort of things if it's an emergency. Right now, we still haven't lost the game. We're still on an unbeaten run. There's no need to panic. Let's trust the players that we've got. Right, there's been a little bit of a wobble. let's trust them to get through this. You know what I mean? I'd understand it if there was some, you know, bad result against Southampton and mistakes and that, but at this moment, we got to trust the process, isn't it?
All right, there you go. Keep trusting it. Hey, this is giving me a reason to. Let's hope Arsenal can bounce back. Go check out the preview as well. That's out on AFTV and all the other content coming out on the channel ahead of Southampton. Remember, it's a Friday night game. We'll be there to cover the whole match, and there will be a very special fan zone after with a tactical insight the day after as well. Big game against Southampton. Go get your London is Red merch in the link in the description below. It's absolutely red. I think, yeah. Well, we're a point away from making that official. So, come on, let's get that done against Southampton. We'll see you very soon.
Introducing FANZONE. My friend Elliot from Canada.
We are still
Say we are
top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Allows any fan, anywhere you are on the planet, to broadcast live into our shows at the push of a button via our website or app.
Well, I'm tired of hearing about the Europa League like it's silverware. So is the League Cup. So is the Dubai Cup. So is the Community Shield.
Ah, Michael, come on, they're not the same level.
No, I mean it.
Cecile. My guy.
FANZONE on AFTV Plus. You can download it on iOS or the Play Store and have your say. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.